guys, welcome to the Pocket Theater. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us. We are Spank the Blank. I am Scott.
Robert.
I'm Emma.
I'm JC. Michelle.
And before we get started, so you guys might have noticed we are called Spank the Blank. So we're going to need your help. Fill in that blank for us. What is something you'd like to see us spank tonight? And it doesn't have to be that obvious. Anything. Just
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
That's
What else?
a great choice.
Throw them out. Just a bunch. Lettuce. What else?
Cars.
Cars. Lettuce, cars.
Fashion.
Fashion. All right, cool. Well, let's go with lettuce since everybody has already decided. Perfect. So we've got a bunch of games for you tonight. One of them is going to involve the performers actually coming out into the audience. They will not touch you or do anything weird, though. But we just ask if you have anything in that center aisle, just move it to the side because they will need a path. Otherwise, our first game for you that we're going to play today is called Urban Dictionary. Now, as you guys know, our language is getting things constantly added to it in terms of words, new words, all these different types of meanings. What you didn't know is that these improvisers are professional linguists. They can give you all the details about made-up words on the spot. So to prove that, we are going to ask you guys to give me a bunch of words, random words made up, and then these performers are going to do a couple things for you. First, they're going to spell it. Then they're going to give you the part of speech. Then they're going to give you the definition. Then they're going to give you a sentence, and then you're going to see a short scene with that sentence in action. So you can take these words home with you and use them. And even if nobody understands what you're talking about, you'll know. So, sounds good, right? Right, cool. All right, so let me get a word from anybody in the audience completely made up. Just throw out a random, yes?
Flies flung.
What is it?
Flies flung.
Flies flung. All right, guys, the word is flies flung.
Flies flung.
F.
L.
A. D.
F.
L.
U. G.
Flies flung.
Flags flung is a noun.
Definition. Flies flung. When one goes up in the air and needs something to stand on, you have a random piece of wood, which is a flies flung.
I had a dream last night that I was launched onto a rocket, but as I was falling, there was no parachute. However, I wished for a flat flung, and it appeared just in time before I crashed. Okay, so we're going to strap you into this rocket, and it's perfectly safe. I have a heart condition. Are you sure? Yes, it's safe. I also have diabetes. Yes. The diabetes means you're full of sugar, which means you'll fly faster. Oh. And the heart condition means that you have so much spirit inside you. You'll soar. Are you ready? Can I double check my life insurance? Absolutely not. No, let's go. Is my parachute working? Where is it? Where is it? Oh no! Oh, I'm going to die now. Let's flung! You're safe.
All right. Word is. All right, who else has got a made-up word? Made-up word. Throw them out.
Florksing.
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 F.
L.
E.
R. K.
F.
K.
I. N.
G.
Florksing.
Florksing is a verb.
Florksing is when you are trying to communicate with your mom, but she's just too old to understand.
Excuse me, what are you doing on your phone again, Emma? You're always texting.
Mom, don't you know anything?
It's really bad for your eyesight, you know, to be looking at blue light all the time.
Yeah, that's not the only thing that's bad for me.
Is it a boy? Are you texting a boy? Who is it?
Mom, you're just so flirting!
Good. All right, next word.
That was hard. Kidding.
What's another word? Anyone? Anybody? Totally on the spot. Otherwise, I'll make it up. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you a word. Aberjam.
Aberjam.
A. B.
J.
R.
A. M.
Aberjam.
Aberjam is a verb. To aberjam is to
punch someone really hard in the nose.
When I was a young boy, there was another boy in my class, and he kept pulling my underwear from behind my chair, so I turned around and flabberjammed him in the nose.
You're sitting too tall. I can't see the teacher. You should move.
Mom says I was born this way.
Don't you, or else.
Damn you!
I just got flabberjammed.
Mom.
All right, let's do one more. Does anybody have any one last word they want to see in action?
Flux Crow.
What was it?
Flux Crow.
Flux Crow.
Flux Crow.
F L U
W.
X.
C R
O.
W. Flux Crow. Flux Crow is a noun.
A flex crow is a mix between a scarecrow and one of those Chucky dolls.
The Flux Crow was incredibly effective at scaring away both crows and children.
Hey, there's a crow on the ground. Were you?
Good, and C.
All right. So, can I get a suggestion for a dramatic situation you might see, in a musical?
A grave robbing.
Say,
What was
what was it?
Grave robbing.
Okay, let's go with the suggestion grave robbing. This game is called Sounds Like a Song because our group is really, really talented at singing. This is actually a musical show, but they're going to start off just talking. However, at any point during the show when they say something really, really good, I'm just gonna call that sounds like a song, sing it. And the person who just said the last thing, they have to start singing with the last thing they just said. And there's going to be a big musical finale. All right. Good luck, grave robbing.
So my grandma's buried somewhere around here.
Oh my God.
I really want that ring so I can propose to my girlfriend.
Well, this is the J section. Does her name start with a J?
Her name is Miriam, so probably.
Oh, Hecate, 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 I call upon you to rise from this grave, imbibe this body with your spirit, and... Oh, hello.
So we're in the H section.
We're in the H section.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's
Okay,
looking for
thank you.
Hecate.
Sorry, what was your mother's name? Or
My
grandmother's?
grandmother,
Oh, what was her name?
Miriam.
Miriam. Miriam.
How much money did you say you was gonna pay me to help you dig up your grandma?
Sounds like a song.
How much money did you say? Oh, how much money did you say you was gonna pay? Oh, how much money did you say? Oh, how much money did you say? Because I'm really in need of that pay, at least half before I start digging, and then about $5 per shovel worth.
Okay, well, here's the thing. We didn't actually agree on a price, but my grandmother, should we find her, has a lovely pearl necklace that I will give to you in exchange for helping me dig her up to find her ring, which is considerably more valuable than the necklace, but it's fine. This is fair.
How will I know that it's a real pearl? If she's under the ground.
So, this Miriam, what was her last name?
Miriam, Hamiriam.
Miriam.
Oh, we're in the H's! We're in the H's!
Sounds like a song.
We are in the H's! Ah! We are in the H's! Ah! We are in the H's! Don't go far!
So,
Well, wait a minute. Oh, this could be a little awkward. See, I thought that actually actually said Hecate, and it just says Harium. Oh, so I just did this dark ancient ritual that corrupts the dead.
Okay.
And,
That's my grandmother's grave.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it.
This is perfect! We don't have to dig!
no.
Still underground.
No, if he did the ritual, she's just gonna come right up.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
well, thanks, but I forgot to mention that when she does return, she's not going to be your grandma as
Sounds
a...
like a song.
She's not going to be your grandma anymore.
What's she gonna be?
I cringe at what there is in store.
What is there in store?
When she rises from below, oh my God, I'm gonna go, cause your grandmother isn't her anymore.
Go.
The important question, though, is, will she be wearing the ring? And for you, exactly, the pearl. Will she be wearing her jewelry?
You know, ancient demons are sort of hard to predict sometimes. I want to say yes, but with all the things that could happen, I'm not quite sure. How opposed to you are you to getting possessed? Maybe.
Sounds like a song.
How opposed are you to getting possessed?
Who, me?
I just want to find out, no underlining meaning, baby. I just want to let you know that, well, to hell you could really go. I just want to find out how you feel.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if
do
they're real pearls, I mean,
Oh, they
it's
are.
worth
They
it.
are. Everyone deserves to be fabulous.
Okay, so
Especially
I see that there's something happening with the ground here.
Yeah,
There's a rumble.
I'm just gonna put you here and within arm's reach of the jewels.
Yeah, here.
I'm just
You
gonna be
grab
over
those.
this way.
I've got it.
Cool, great.
It's happening. So this happened.
How do you feel?
My toe feels like I've never felt my toe before.
Sounds like a song.
I've never felt my toe like this. I just don't know what I was amiss. But where will she come out? Where will she come out?
Well, we'll see shortly.
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, we'll maybe see you later.
I don't think that's good. She doesn't look very happy.
No, that's my grandmother Miriam. Grandmother Miriam!
Oh,
You haven't changed a bit.
yeah. I forgot to mention, demon possession can be passed on just by touch. Probably should have said that before. My bad. So sorry.
He looks tasty.
You know what else is tasty? This bucket of KFC original recipe.
That's fair.
Whenever I'm doing ancient rituals, I get the munchies.
Here you go, Grandma.
This is the worst possible fate. I mean,
Finale song.
this is the worst possible fate. I never thought I'd be so late. If I go or stay or just play Scream, I don't know what to do. But either way, I'm just real screwed. And how about with you?
Tastes great.
All right, for our next scene, I'm gonna need 2 words from y'all. I'm gonna need a verb and a noun. So let me get a verb first. Let me get some verbs.
Jab.
Skiing. Jab.
Jump.
Skiing.
Writing.
Writing.
Punching.
Let's get skiing. Skiing. And now I'm gonna need a noun.
Beast.
Apple.
Fish.
I like
Squirrel.
fish. Skiing with fish. So, this game's called Confession. And in this game, JC, who's been put outside, she's committed a horrible crime. The horrible crime is she's skiing with fish. So, Michelle, the other officer here, myself and Michelle, we're gonna get her to confess to this horrible crime of skiing with fish. So, let's get her back in here.
Mrs. McCroskey, I am such a big fan of your work. I saw Go With God no less than 17 times. And I have to say, your moving speech at the very, very end, where you pleaded for Father Majori to just recognize you and love you the way God did, I was so moved.
Well, that was mostly my ex-husband's work.
Oh, well.
But why? I hope I can get out of here soon, cause
Well, we just have a couple of questions for you. No big deal, nothing really crazy. Just, we need you to confess to what you did. So why don't you just start off by telling us what you were doing at that dock?
Come on, confess to your horrible crime.
well, you know, I was at the dock because you know, since I published my first book, which was turned into a screenplay and then into a movie, I haven't had anything good since. But then my rival, Mrs. McClustery, actually took the same idea and then made it into a bestseller and a blockbuster. So I had to actually just steal all of her novels, and I went to every bookstore in town and just
That is,
Okay, it's
into
okay.
the water.
that's
okay?
terrible. It's like she baited you.
Not the water.
Not the water. All right. I fed them to the fish. Okay.
Oh,
Fish?
fish.
Did you just say fish?
Yeah. I fed those paper to the fish.
Oh.
They gobble up everything. So there's no more. I thought there would be no more evidence left, but clearly not.
Oh, well, disposing of evidence in the Puget Sound, that's totally fine. That's not No, but what you were doing with those fish, though, that's important. That's really important.
Yeah. I like to. I actually killed them myself. Those fish.
Those
And
poor
I fried
fish.
them up. Yeah, I don't trust other people to prepare the fish for me.
No, it was fine killing the fish. It was something else horrible, something very, very, you had such a cold heart when you did this to the fish.
Yeah, I also polluted the river. so I decided to undermine my book rival. I just stole all the ink from all the printers. I dumped it all into the Puget Sound.
You dumped ink into the Puget Sound? That's kind of like a reverse Boston Tea Party thing. Well, that's totally fine. I mean, that's not why you're here either.
Well, now it's contaminated my own drinking water and my cat. I've accidentally killed my cat.
Oh,
That's terrible.
Yeah.
but it's fine, it's fine. It's not the horrible crime you committed. This,
I know.
this is very cold and, you have
I
such
know.
icy hearts.
I also decided to freeze the fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I actually put this compound in Puget Sound and I froze the river so that, they can't dig up anything from the river anymore, can't find the books, can't find the evidence.
Well, it's fine that there was an iceberg in the river, but it has nothing to do with your horrible crime. You gotta keep are you giving us a snow job here?
And I have to say, I know this might be very unprofessional for a cop to say this to somebody they're interrogating, but you have beautiful legs. Those feet. I have a little bit of a foot fetish. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. But I have to say, yours are gorgeous. Do you do anything? Like, do you do any sorts of activities like
I
with
think
those
she
feet? Or-
probably just exercised keeping her tips up.
Really?
I said tips.
I really like to, take care of my toes and
Listen, lady, you're slaloming around the idea here. You gotta confess to this crime,
Yeah,
and I'll give you
really.
a gold medal.
I love these stories, but we've got to get back to the fish. Now you were saying you like to take good care of your feet, and are you ever cold up there? Like, do you just go completely au natural, or do you just do you bundle up and make sure you're secure in that? I mean, because it's got to be high and cold up there.
Yeah, I'm always bundled. Just cold all the time, and so I actually covered up all the fish in snow.
Listen, didn't
Wow.
you date Bodie Miller?
You know, it's funny you say snow. So how did you get from one point to the other with that? I mean, if you
With
covered it.
ice skates, of course.
Oh, interesting. We didn't find any slice marks on those fish, but they were flattened. Do you ever do anything else in the?
Yeah, I really like to hit things too.
You want a slice of pizza? I mean, remember, you always gotta make a pizza shape.
Does it have anchovies on it? If so, or salmon? Anyways,
Stop with your pizza.
You know, I could listen to you all day, because I feel like every time you say something, it becomes like even worse than what you're actually in for. But it's okay.
It feels really cathartic to finally be able to tell someone, such a fan like yourself, what all the things I've done, because my children, my family, they just think I'm so perfect. It's really hard to live up to all that. So.
This is really going downhill.
This isn't a competition. I mean, come on. We don't have to go there. Let her confess on her own time. So you were saying?
Okay, I was using the fish as sleds. I was sliding the fish.
Oh, that is atrocious. I'm fascinated. I kind of want more details, but that's still atrocious.
Yeah, and that's
but
not very
it's-
Olympic either.
It will become an Olympic sport eventually.
Oh my goodness. Are those 5 rings? Wow, that's amazing. Did you get one for this too?
A ring?
Well, you know, I mean, because of the Olympics and everything. Did you have any sort of like extra training before you decided to just, you know, do that to the fish? I mean, or was this just like a Monday and you were bored?
Yeah. It's hard to keep me entertained, so
I suppose if you strap 2 fish on the bottom of your feet, you could probably go downhill anywhere.
Oh, I was skating on the fish.
Really?
They were- It
Was that it?
maybe much more graceful than that, but you know, it was close.
You know, I gotta get to Stevens Pass here pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm okay. I know this is not a normal thing to do at all, but I'm just tired of my normal skis. Okay, so I was just skiing on fish.
Finally!
It was plenty of.
Okay. Well, don't worry. This will make a great movie.
I'm just gonna remain off stage.
Okay, so our next game is called Newtonian motion because, as you probably remember from physics class, the rule is that an improviser in motion remains in motion until Scott will stop us or turn us around. So, JC and Robert and I will be in this scene, and we will be moving in a direction, so that's why we had this aisle cleared. We'll be going in a direction, and if we run into a wall or something, we will just keep going until Scott comes and rescues us. So we're just going to keep doing this scene, whatever we may run into or leave, or we'll see. So can I get a good place to go on vacation with someone that you don't like?
Hell.
Go with hell. Sounds like a bad place or a good place. All right, here we are in hell. Let's go. Right. Thank you for bringing me on this vacation, Jocelyn. It's so nice here.
Right, it is the perfect way to celebrate graduation from our all-girls Catholic school since we are no longer subject to daily prayers.
It's true. Ever since I stopped praying, I've been in hell.
I'm trying to summon the
Hello? Did someone call? It's Satan. I've eaten too many hot peppers.
I'm summoning a rain cloud. Maybe it will rain and, cool it down in here. Also, get you some help for those hot peppers.
Yeah, do it quick! Oh my God, this is horrible. Hello? I'm finally gonna get a six-pack.
I'm afraid all of it is human. Maggie? Yes, Jocelyn? Where are you going?
I'm making sure that Satan is going to see us and come show us the ways of hell.
Oh, that's true. We are newcomers. We should learn our way around Satan.
Oh my God, they let anybody in hell.
So it's my first day here. Where are the restrooms, and are the lines actually as long as they say?
Listen, people aren't supposed to be this needy in hell. Didn't they give you the manual?
No. Well, they did, but it caught on fire. Everything's on fire. Oh my God, I just gotta put out these fires. You're on fire, though. Thank you.
Never noticed.
I've always been managing to play for you.
I'm just on fire too, but it's a cleansing kind.
I bet your soul is gonna be so pure.
I got the manual finally. It was a long way.
Thank you. Oh no, I hit it out of your hand.
Oh, shit. That was my son.
Did you pick it up?
No, I'm sitting there. Can you get it in your next pass?
I'm afraid that I just don't really know what I'm doing. Or even how to move.
God, I hate being the devil.
It's a tough job.
Oh, God, yeah.
But someone's gotta do it, right?
I bruise easy. Where's my pitchfork?
I've always wanted to see what Satan feels like.
Are those hot peppers any better? Here, I'll help.
I'm feeling healthier all the time.
Nancy! All right, ladies and gentlemen, whew, that's a workout. This next song, this next game we're going to play for you is called Intoxicated Ballad. You guys may have seen a version of this on Whose Line Is It Anyway? What we're going to do, though, to put our own little spin on it, we want to get some suggestions from you guys on really cool, just very amazing things that's happened to you in the last year. You don't have to go into any details, just like something big happened.
Got married.
Got married! Well, congrats!
I married him. That's it.
If I was married myself, I might say I'm sorry to hear that, but congrats. Good job. Okay, so what is your first name?
David.
David. David, you just got married. How long ago did you get married?
Almost exactly a year ago.
Wow.
11 months and like 2 weeks.
That's awesome. Well, kudos. That's awesome. All right. Well, Michelle and I are going to sing a song, a drunken, intoxicated ballad song about your marriage. Because, as you all know, when you potentially go out to a bar and you've had quite a number to drink, you suddenly feel very confident in your singing abilities. So, we are going to put that to the test right now by singing an intoxicated ballad about David and his recent marriage vows. Sound good to you?
Sounds fantastic.
All right. Oh, I-dee-di-dee-di-dee-di-dee-di-dee-di-dee-di. David got married.
He said some vows,
He said, I'm real happy.
and let me tell you how.
I have the greatest girl.
We just got hitched,
Or maybe she's a boy.
but I don't care, she's a bitch.
So I But at least I'm being honest.
So we're just gonna go through with this.
And don't call me a doubting Thomas.
We went off on our honeymoon,
And it was really grand.
but we also spent $1,000.
Because I was the hottest man. Oh, I-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di. David found his future.
It was down the drain.
He said, I don't care.
Even though I'm kind of in pain.
I'm going to make this marriage.
Even if I have appendicitis.
And let me tell you how.
I got this. I'm writing it down as the moral of this story.
When you are in love,
Maybe you should think twice.
instead of those blasted doves,
So here's my advice to you.
take it as you will.
Never get married.
Or just take lots of pills. Oh, I-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di. Oh, I-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di. Good evening. I'm hard-hitting journalist Lance Beauregard, and welcome to another exciting edition of That's My Take, the advice show featuring a bevy of panelists, all designed to give you all types of perspectives on real problems facing you today. They'll talk about the good, they'll talk about the bad, and they'll talk about their just plain fresh take on these issues that are going on today. It'll be exciting, and you'll be involved, but before we get to that, let's meet them now. First up, our first panelist became somewhat of a media darling when she found herself in a plane that was going down and single-handedly saved every single inanimate object on it. Ignoring the humans, but saving a ton of money with the merchandise. Please help me welcome Meredith Chang. True to form, Meredith will be speaking about the good aspects of those issues and possible resolutions. Next up, this man was a hard-hitting entrepreneur who found a way to turn money into oil and then back again into money. Why did he do it? He'll never tell, but he will tell you his take. Please help me welcome Walter Benson. Thank you, Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson will be giving his take, focusing on the negatives, as always. And now, in a blatant pandering attempt to connect more with the everyday viewer, the winner of the That's My Take guest panelist sweepstakes, please help me welcome Rachel McThompson. Rachel McThompson. It says here, Miss McThompson, in her spare time, likes to collect pine cones that look like famous presidents. When she's not doing that, she can be seen on her YouTube channel promoting the values of a freshly trimmed lawn. Fascinating stuff. Well, let's get right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live show, so we encourage all of you, if you have a problem, to please speak it now and get a take from these panelists here. So does anybody here have a problem they'd like to get some insight on?
Rainbows are controlling my mind.
Rainbows are... Sir, that is a horrifying thought. What is your first name?
Ben.
Ben! Panelists, Ben is afraid about rainbows controlling his mind. What should he do?
Have you heard of the app Headspace, Ben? So it's a really great tool to help you regain control of your mind through the power of breathing. It's essentially a meditation app, so you can choose your track, you can do it for a minute or 90 minutes, and it just will teach you to breathe. And the more you breathe, you can forget about the rainbows, or you can just tell your wife maybe, and then she can help you by smacking some reality into you.
Interesting take. Sir, your thoughts?
Listen, Ben. Whatever you're eating, be it Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms. I need to know, because people are willing to pay to have rainbows control their mind. I think you and me, Ben, we can start a venture and get people to just kind of lose themselves in the rainbow. What do you think? Good business, huh? I'll give you my card after the show.
Interesting. Guest panelists, what's your thoughts?
If I had money, I would pay money to you to be controlled by your rainbows. Because rainbows are like the colors of the sky.
Well, that was utterly useless. Thank you very much. Who else has a concern they'd like to get some input on? Anyone? Anyone? Don't feel... Yes, you, sir.
How do you avoid identity theft?
Great question. Sir, what is your first name?
I'm not going to tell you that.
I'm not going to tell you. Brett wants to know how he can avoid identity theft. What are your thoughts, Ms. Chen?
Well, you know, I think number one, you have to grasp with reality that it could happen to anyone, no matter how smart you are, how good of a, even if you're a hacker yourself, it could happen to anyone. So to try to minimize it, it depends though. If you want to be really antisocial, you could just choose to avoid the internet altogether, never give out any personal information, or you know, you can just use some common sense. I think you can Google a lot of good checklists on what not to do, like when you get an email that looks like a Nigerian friends, for example, asking you for money. That's a clear example of
Couldn't agree more. Hack into the Nigerian princes. Sir, what are your thoughts?
Well, listen, I own this company called LifeLock. And it's really good. It's really lined my pockets with mixed greens. So you'd be best by saving your identity by buying LifeLock. But as an alternative, you could just have no life whatsoever, and then nobody will give a shit. One way or the other, you choose.
Buy a mixed green salad from LifeLock. Fantastic advice. Madam, what are your thoughts?
I don't understand how you can live life without a name. Do your parents not love you? Do you not have parents? I would hate to be you. Just tell people you don't have parents. They won't want to be you.
Some brutally honest advice. Thank you, guest panelists.
Kind of like what I said.
No, it isn't.
Stealing my ideas.
I think this man has some questionable business practices. You should look him up on the internet.
I'm gonna sue
Check
you.
to see.
All right. Let's get back to it. Who else has some concerns? Yes, you, sir.
How do you feed picky young children?
Sir, that is a fantastic question. What is your first name?
It's Colton.
Colton wants to know how to feed picky young children. Ms. Chang, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, you could try the sneaky method, which just tell them it's a chocolate shake. You know, you can put some cauliflowers in there. They won't know the difference. Because it's just, you know, life is short. Pick your battles.
Weaken your bond with your child by lying to them. Sir, what are your thoughts?
Listen, Colton, I got a great idea for you. This is gonna help your children out. My friend Ben in here, we're starting a new venture. We've been eating Lucky Charms that'll make your children just think of rainbows. And more.
Drop your children into a rainbow cult. Guest panelist?
Well, I think if your kids won't eat their lettuce, you should take away their name. Just like what happened to whatever his name wasn't. They'll hate you.
Encourage your child to hate you. That is a solution that can't possibly go wrong. Fantastic.
How many children? Do you count grass as children? Okay, then no.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure our good sponsors, Scott Fertilizer, consider them children. Does anybody else have any other questions they'd like to hear before we end the show? One last question, anyone?
How do you deal with road rage?
How do you deal with road rage? Ma'am, what is your name?
Lucille.
Lucille wants to know how to deal with road rage.
Well, I think that you can avoid it by, well, not driving. Also it helps to make sure that we're not emitting more toxic, CO2 into the atmosphere. Why don't you just take, do the car sharing thing? Then you have, conversations with your neighbors, and hopefully they're nice people, and that helps.
Hijack a car from your neighbors if they won't share their car with you. Fantastic advice, I couldn't agree more. Sir, what are your thoughts?
I keep thinking about this great new business venture Ben and I are gonna have. Like some of our lucky charms. Nobody who's controlled by rainbows has road rage.
Mind control those drivers with some magically delicious cereal.
Mind control yourself.
Even better. Panelist?
Well, I think everybody's been focusing on where we gotta get to, but I think the real problem is the roads. So instead of having roads, we should have grass. And instead of driving on roads, we should plant grass seeds in those cracks. You know those cracks in the roads? Yeah, just put grass seed in them, pour in a ton of fertilizer, they'll grow. No more roads.
Grow marijuana where there are tons of popcorn. Fantastic, and I couldn't agree more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. Join us next time on That's My Take, when my guest panelists will be an ex-nun, a porn star, and a tank. Good night.
Right. Do you guys like dramatic soap operas?
Who doesn't?
Yes, of course. What is a situation you might find in a dramatic soap opera?
An affair.
An affair. Okay, let's get a few more.
Amnesia.
Amnesia.
And you're having an
Person
affair
in a
with
coma, and then it turns out they have a twin who's evil.
That's fair. They got it eat up.
All
I
right.
think I saw that on Days.
That actually did.
Yeah.
Ooh. No,
Go on.
somebody died and everybody's fighting over inheritance money.
And then they're not dead.
Yeah.
God, these are all good suggestions for the show.
You guys should.
You guys should be like pitch writers.
I work on spec.
There you go.
I'm gonna challenge you guys to incorporate actually a few of these. So amnesia and an affair. Okay, so there's gonna be a couple things that they're gonna have to do though here. One is someone at all times has to be facing you guys, the audience. Meanwhile, another person always has to be facing stage left or stage right, and someone always has to be sitting. At any point that one of them changes their profile, everybody else has to adjust.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I have to say, Savannah's will was not at all what I was expecting.
Who's Savannah?
Your dead daughter, dear. She died in that horrible plane skiing lettuce accident.
How old was she?
She was 35, dear.
Oh, good. I was afraid she was little. They're more tragic.
Listen, darling. I feel that this is the perfect time to talk to you about your revised will. You see, I couldn't help but notice when I had my lawyers draw it up and review it that I've been left out. I'm sure it's purely an oversight. Not at all what Veronica could have caused. Isn't that right, Veronica?
You never suspected. But yes.
Sorry, excuse me, I hate to interrupt. Who's Veronica? Is she Veronica?
Yes, dear, she has been ever since she was reincarnated, don't you remember?
God, how many times do I have to tell you? You just keep forgetting. Are you going
What
to
did I
forget
forget?
what's most important in life?
Money?
Yes.
No. I will always know how important money is.
But you forgot about Savannah.
Wait, is that you? Are you Savannah?
No, dear, she's Veronica. Savannah was that reincarnated ghost who was there briefly in Father Malloy's body, but then we expelled him and he returned into Michael Malone's body.
No, Michael Malone.
Okay. He's maybe alive or dead.
He's in a better place.
Hawaii.
Yes, Hawaii.
I can't stand this anymore.
Oh, God!
What have you done?
I feel like it's all going to pieces now. Look, Veronica can't even stand up straight.
Help her up! I've broken my hip again!
Here, let me help you. Oh! This is not going at all what I planned.
Now you've broken your hip!
Seneca! Or
Veronica!
Okay.
Listen,
Why are we here?
we're here to contest your father's will. All we need is your signature, dear. Now, be a good dear and just come with me over to this table. I took the liberty of drawing it up. Here, you can look at it. Here's a pen. Here you are. Just sign at the bottom, and everything will be fine.
Don't sign. Don't sign. It's never going to be what you think.
Don't listen to her! How dare you throw her to the ground?
You broke her hip!
She's not some common maid that you can just toss around as you like. That's the heiress to the Marlborough Merchant Factory allowance. 25 million reasons why you can't throw her to the ground. Get up! Get up!
Get up!
Wait, no! No, I'm going to have a tantrum if you do this. This is not a drawing. You said this was a drawing of a will. There is no person named Will in this. It's words. And I forgot how to read.
Oh my God, you're trying to swindle her again. Just do what you say and mean what you do.
For God's sake, Veronica. First, you took me out of that med school. Then, you forced me to lie to Mother.
Get up!
Just to get up! What are you doing? I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I don't care if you have a broken hip, you sign that will, or don't sign it, or sign it and don't sign it. But do something.
Listen, I know what's happening. You can't remember because she's done something to your mind. When you went to that dentist, she implanted that mind control device into your tooth. I know what she's been doing. That's why you can't remember. But remember this, I love you. I've always loved you. And together, there's no stopping us. We'll be able to rule together, and we'll wipe Veronica out. Don't you remember?
I do not remember a dentist. I do remember a rainbow. Is
He's,
that the same thing?
he's lying to you. He will never draw the will. He will draw a man, and it will not be the man you thought. You will not get the money.
Why are you swaying like that? What's going on?
Until next time, this is Broken Teeth and Broken Minds.
Okay, so that was about us and our amnesia or something. I don't remember. We're gonna take a moment, just get to know y'all. So, all right. So, what do you do?
I coach soccer.
Coaching soccer. What other professions have we got? Or occupations or hobbies?
Writer.
Writing. We've got coaching soccer. What about you folks?
Marketing.
Marketing. All right.
How about any programmers? Coders? I'm shocked. All right.
Okay. So, we're going to have a game now called World's Worst, where these lovely improvisers are going to tell you some of the worst things that these people in these professions, you know, totally out of nowhere, nothing to do with y'all.
Okay.
You definitely shouldn't say these things. All right. World's worst thing for a soccer coach to say.
Come on, kids, get your balls together.
Hey, Timmy, is your mom single? Because she is real hot.
God, you guys suck. I'm so deflated.
Don't worry about losing. You're gonna lose for the rest of your life.
Listen, Timmy. I want you to go and deflate that ball before the match starts.
Tommy.
Okay, so let's world's worst thing for a programmer to say.
Uh-oh.
I wish it was Y2K again.
Where's the enter key?
So, you don't need any coding experience to do this job, right?
So, I didn't think we needed a database backup.
World's worst thing to say or write as a writer.
Dot, dot, dot.
I'm having improv block.
Oh, what? I've decided to become a Republican.
Okay. World's worst thing to say on your first day in a marketing job. First day.
Did you get that naked picture I sent to you?
Nobody's gonna buy this.
Let's go to the market.
Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but everybody here's ideas just suck.
Okay, so he was that guy. Let's find out a little more about you, so you can, have some great things to say in your life. So anything good happening in your life, or bad if you want them to say terrible things as well, in your life and someone else's life that you might want to say to them. Maybe someone's having a baby. Maybe they just got married. Maybe all kinds of things. Maybe you're going to the doctor.
My Roomba keeps getting stuck.
Your what?
My Roomba keeps getting stuck.
Your Roomba keeps getting stuck. Anyone else have these first world problems? Yes.
It's a good thing, but I'm engaged.
You're engaged?
And it's
Excellent.
good. It's a good thing.
Good. I'm glad. They're going to tell you some terrible things about it.
My roommate's cat had a tumor removed.
Okay, that's good. Then it was removed. Okay. World's worst thing for a veterinarian to say. Oh no.
We need to test this on you first.
Is that a new species?
This is a cute cat, but I prefer the other pussy.
Okay. We're stopping there. World's worst thing to say to someone who just got engaged.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll work out.
So, he slept with every other